Alright. Look. Get this new. Not done any feeder. Got our main rod. We got our. Whoops. Let's see. Wait. We'll just leave that to do its thing. I have to get used to the setup. Let's rod through. There's a big one on here. Oh no. It seemed a bit bigger than that. Oh, so we can... Wait, no. Can we sandwich bait on this? Is that even a good idea? Oh shit, hello. Oh, wrong one. Rod 3. There we go. We already had a fish on that one. Oh, he gone? I think the fish is gone. Delirium. That's only a little fish. Just a weeny one. All ingenious is simple. Achievement. Oh, hello. I forgot I left the stream on. Whoops. Let's just turn that off. There we go. Let's... Right. Bottom rigs. Okay. Makes sense. So okay, rod 2. Alright. I'm gonna have to remember that. Need to eat some food. Got those. Oh, what's up, Corey Boba? How's it going, man? Appreciate you hanging out. I've only just bought that bottom fisher, that line rod, so we'll see how I fare with it. Quite interesting not paying attention to the rod, just leaving it to do its own thing, rather than just checking the bobbers. But yeah, welcome, man. Welcome. Good. Well, I think the setup that oh, here we go. You're taking. Wait, is he taking the bait? Did I set the rod up right? Should the bell be ringing on it? Yeah, man. Yeah, I've been float fishing for a while, and I started out on Lake. What was it? Lake 2. And had quite a lot of you know where the camp is. Pretty much by the camp on the right hand side of it, there's a nice little reeds and lily pads there, and I just fished there, and it was alright. I'd say it was about maybe 15 to 20 silver for like probably about 2 days in-game fishing. It was not too bad. But this seems a really good spot. I think the setup that Crossy's got is really good. Two line feeders and like a bolognese, or maybe even fly fishing. I might have to like get my fly fishing up, but I don't know. Is fly fishing really good money? To tighten the line, but press it. Oh, right, I got you. There we go. That's rod 2. Hello. An ickle fish by the looks of it. Yeah, they're deceptive. What the fuck is that fish doing? Hello, fish? that fish, what was he doing? He was floating across the water. Alright. Yeah, do you see what I mean? It's deceptive. Like, the rod will bend as if you've got like a 2 kilo fish on there, and then when you pick the rod up, it's like, wait, no, it's only 300 grams. What's up, Jacob? Float fishing, yeah, bobber. Sorry, bobber fishing. I call it float fishing because it's a float and it floats in the water. But yeah, bobber fishing, whichever way you want to call it. Yeah, float fishing, fly fishing, which is basically lure fishing. Yeah. I really should have these in order on my mouse. I've got so basically rod 2 is rod 1, and then rod 2 is rod 1, and then rod 3 is rod 3. So yeah, this one is button 3 basically. This one that I'm holding here is button 2, and this one is button 1. So yeah, bottom fishing seems to be pretty good. I'll have to see, man, because it's placing it. I don't want to place it right in the reeds there. Put down there. So with so with the bottom fishing, you set it and then make sure you have a taut line before you leave it. Yeah, so it's a balance of, yeah, float fishing and bottom fishing. Seems to be a nice little balance. Yeah, I like that. It's really nice. Yeah, welcome, Jacob. Any action on the bait will ring the bell, yeah. So make sure you have a taut line. Same with, that's the only problem with this. With the float fishing, I really want... So if you have a bite, you don't know, so you've really got to keep your eye on that. So there we go. On. I think I'm probably only going to get ickelfish, seeing as my bait is not... It's not the best. Bait did I... Anyway. I think I put... Did I put maggots on? No, I put worms on. Worms seems to be pretty regular. Plus, it's free bait for me anyway, so it seems like bottom fishing is use a whole bunch of bait that you already have. I was gifted this semolina by a good Russian guy that I just started fishing in the game, and he was like, "Are you float fishing or are you like fly fishing or what are you doing?" And I said, I really didn't have a clue of what he was saying. But we'll see. We'll see what the fish are like here. They seem to like everything. Pretty much on every lake. It doesn't really matter what baits you use. I mean, I'm probably going to get bigger fish if I use corn and if I use potatoes, but I don't really want to do that with the current line setup I've got on this. I'm only using a 7-pound test. I mean, it's a little bit big for the reel that I've got, but I'd rather the line break than the reel. Even though the reel is cheap and I could probably afford it in a couple of days, in-game days fishing. But oh, worm is good bottom fishing. Don't use potatoes. Not on that lake. Okay. Yeah, I noticed that he was using potatoes on his reel, and I thought to myself, no, he's got a heavier reel on. I think it was on his main one. So on this line, I think he had a heavier reel on it. Or this one, obviously the telestick is just basic. I mean, that actually is a pretty good rod in itself. I haven't had it actually break. I've had the line snap, but obviously that's just through to wear and tear. 20 kilo carps in this lake. Yeah, I saw the grass carp earlier. Some guy got a 14 kilo one. Oh, you can see Crossy was fishing here earlier. Where is it? Man, it was a big fish as well. Where is he? He's somewhere. Might have just flown past it. I'm not sure if it keeps the whole chat from when you started fishing. Yeah, there was a trout at 6.1 kilos. There's some big fish on this lake. And that's the thing I like about this. I mean, in terms of Fishing Planet, I didn't really get very far in Fishing Planet, but it was very arcadey. And I felt like you actually needed to invest money, i.e. to go premium to get extra XP to then, you know, boost up your credits or your dollars. Yeah, man, it was annoying. Like, whereas this, they've really got this out extremely well. So, yeah, definitely. But it said a fish got away, but I still had the fish on the line. Good. Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's what I was saying. I mean, to be honest, I don't think I would spend a penny on the game, purely and simply because you can earn enough silver. I think it's when you're hunting the really big fish. That's when I think you'll probably want to invest some money. But then again, if you're earning regular silver, I don't see any reason why you should want to spend actual money. Apart from premium, that's obviously spending actual money. But then again, premium obviously allows you to have, what, extra XP? and I haven't quite figured out the boat fishing yet. I mean, obviously you can fish on the boat, but you know, figuring out if it's better to have a yeah, like what sort of rod setups you can have, that sort of thing. Because you can fish some really big fish, and it doesn't really matter where you fish. Yeah. Repair costs get huge. Yeah, they do. That was one thing that KP Shimino, I was watching on his video the other day. He said, you know, make sure you alt F4 if you feel like your line's going to snap or your rod's going to break. And kind of repair the bare essentials on your gear rather than just repairing everything. I think that's a mistake that a lot of people make. Just repair what you actually need to repair, rather than, you know, yes, you can repair your gear regularly, but know what things to repair. And in terms of in-game time for actual things to be repaired, takes time. But then you think to yourself, it would take time in RL, so 500 silver, and that's what I'm saying. You get some hefty gear. That's a big repair bill. So yeah, I think you would then struggle and then want to spend extra money, you know, like like IRL money, so that you've got money for repairs. But then, you know, I think if you know the areas where to hunt the fish, but like I say, every server reset, your spots are going to change anyway. So that's what I like about this game. You really have to search where to fish. And like I say, I mean, I've only really gotten into the fishing games from Fishing Planet. So this game is quite a big step up from Fishing Planet. Like, Fishing Planet does spoil you, in terms of just pure fishing, you know. Like, you don't really need to worry about reels and rods breaking. Yes, you can have that happen, but I think Fishing Planet is more forgiving, whereas this is not. Yeah. But I think that'll definitely be a challenge. I mean, considering that I don't have IRL money anyway to spend on the game. And I think as I progress in the game, I'm going to be, you know, it's gonna get harder, that's for sure. But then again, if I know my fishing spots, then there's no reason why, like I said, there's no reason why you can't earn good silver, you know. So set yourself a task, like, be like, okay, today I want to earn, you know, 300-400 silver for a good rod setup, or maybe you're saving up for a decent reel, so you can fish the bigger fish. You know, there might be, I think there should be certain incentives. I don't know about the trophy fish, and setting records and stuff, whether you do get money for that sort of thing. Fishing in, like, for example, remember with Fishing Planet, you could fish a certain amount of fish, and by the end of the day, if you're within the category, they would give you like $100,000 or whatever. You know, that sort of incentive. I'm sure they're going to put that in, but you know, or maybe rewarding you with certain rods, reels, lines, that sort of thing. Yeah, 560 hours, yeah, man. Yeah, that's some time and effort. But as I was discussing with Crossy earlier, I mean, they're only 30% into the game, and there's so much more that they want to explore. You know, for example, canal fishing. You know, especially Amsterdam, the amount of fish that you're going to grab out of there. That will be interesting to fish there. And they said that's going to be implemented, which is really good to hear. And it's definitely a really smooth transition from, you know, English, German, and obviously they really take their time and they listen to their community. And you know, as far as the other games go, you know, the original RF3, that, from what I heard, because I never played it, but a lot of people say it was very good, but it was more of a, like a flash game, if it were. Well, that's the thing. With the amount of people that pay premium, you know, you do have it, and of course people investing money into the game, that gets invested back in. You can see that, you know. I mean, graphically, it is a nice, like the physics in the game. The physics in the game impressed me a lot. You know, the way that the water physics work, the way it affects your reel, the way that it affects the line. You don't see that in Fishing Planet. You really don't see that. Like, yes, okay, you can see physics on the rod, but you don't actually see that on the water. And the way that the fish, the way that wind affects the boat, especially, that's very clever. So yeah, man, I think it's a massive learning curve for them as well, you know. Oh, it's miles better than Fishing Planet. Like, I played Fishing Planet, and then I think I saw this on... I think I saw this, like, on another YouTube clip. Like, I was watching something about Fishing Planet. I was like, Russian Fishing 4? What's this? And I saw it, and I was just like, okay, I need to play this. Even if it's in Russian, I'm sure there's, you know, there's JP Shimino, there's, Watchcraft, I always get his name wrong. Hawkeye, he's another guy. Lady Games, they've all got information out on it. So, and there's plenty of people that you can actually ask in game. There are English people that will, you know. But like I say, I'm a complete and utter noob at the game. But I thoroughly enjoy this. It's super addictive and really relaxing. Love it. You know, just like IRL fishing, like years and years ago, I'd fish with my granddad, but you know, that was creek fishing, and I remember him saying, "Go easy on the line," and I think when I cast it out, I didn't realize that I'd snagged it. I was only 5 or 6 at the time, I think, and didn't realize that I'd snagged it, and I pulled it, and he was like, "No, don't pull it. We'll go and release it," and then I snapped the line. he wasn't too pleased, but obviously, what's he gonna do when he's trying to teach? But yeah, that's obviously my. But he was a saltwater fisherman, you know, cod, bass, that sort of thing. That was his thing. Yeah, I think he fished most of his life, and I never really talked that much about his fishing. But when it came to it, I always used to ask him, "Oh, how's the fishing going?" And he loved it. But then again, you know, fishing is a very expensive, expensive hobby, as are others. You know, like I had an RC car. It wasn't petrol; it was electric. But yeah, that went under a car, and I think that was from many years ago when I actually had some money. I invested in a couple of RC cars, and my friend was driving around his one, and we didn't realize that the frequency his controller was set to was also set to the frequency of my controller. And I can't remember if it was 30 hertz, whatever the frequency was for each of the controllers. So I'm stood there, and I push up the left analog stick, and the car literally went into top gear, got stuck because the frequency. So basically, yeah, it got too far out of range for the frequency, and so I started running forward, and then the car just went right under somebody's other car, and all you can hear is the alarm go like this. So I grabbed the car, and then obviously the car was broken. You know, the two front wheels just basically snapped. But yeah, fun times. But yeah, that was an expensive hobby, and I think that cost me like 200 or 300 quid to get fixed, because I had to then change the frequency of the crystals, and then I basically sold it when I kind of ran out of money. But it was good fun. It was good fun. But yeah, like I say, pretty much every hobby can be quite expensive, depending on how deep you get into your hobbies, really. There are things that making noises over in those reeds. I know, man. Do I want to fish in those reeds over there? I'll probably stay in this clear stretch of water. I don't really want to get snagged in there, even though I can Alt F4. But I'd rather just fish in this open area here. And it's definitely learning about each fish, how they affect your rod and the line. I've noticed that's quite a thing. Whereas, you'll see a fish and the bobber will start bobbing, and it'll like move it'll start romancing the bobber, and you're like, should I left click yet? Should I left click now? Yeah. But yeah, it's all good fun, and it's definitely a learning curve, and knowing the spots and what bait to use, and yeah, it's very involving. That's what I like about this game. Like, oh shit, I pulled too early. You know what I mean? I should have waited. He was still romancing the bobber. Damn it. Alright, man. I can hear fish in the water. Huh. Pretty much only play bobber fishing. Oh, right. Yeah, my girlfriend plays Fishing Planet on our PS4, and she loves it. She really does love it. She only fishes in Texas at the moment. I think she's saving up money to... That was the other thing about Fishing Planet. It costs so much. It costs so much to travel. Whereas, like, you'll pay the one-time fee, and then you're there. Days and days and days. Like, you are restricted on how many days you want to fish. Fishing license, advanced fishing license, you can't fish up these fish. I mean, I understand that, but it's kind of a pain in the arse. If you want to spend actual time fishing. Well, let's drink a coffee. I want to get at least 30 fish to make my money back. Fishing Planet for a month. Yeah, I've not touched it for a while. I put it on my Steam library, and I haven't touched it since. I think for about a week, I would say. Yeah, about a week. I've not touched it for a while. Then again, like, my girlfriend wants me to set the rods and lines and stuff up as much as I can. I mean, I was looking up various rod setups for Fishing Planet. Yeah, it felt as very arcadey. I think it's like the difference between, like the difference between Project Cars and Forza Horizon 7 or 6 or whichever you want to, You know, it's night and day. You know, but it's how serious you want to be. So that's a 400 or 500 gram. That's a roach, little roach. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you can get quick fun in Russian Fishing 4 if you want to just fish for an hour, but you can't really fish for an hour because it's the addiction of, all right, I'm just going to get this last cast out. No, wait a minute, I just want to get a nice even number of fish. So then you fish up to 10 fish, and then you'll be like, wait a minute, I just got a nice, 1.5 kilo carp or roach or something like that, and then you'd be like, right, I need to get, need to get more. And I think that's where the addiction comes from. And yeah, this game is not forgiving. It, like, you make a mistake, this game will punish you. And I think it's pretty much how it works in real life as far as fishing goes. And learning, like I was saying earlier, learning when to left click at the right time, learning what the fish do with the bobber before you see how he started playing with rod 1 right now. It's like, oh, well, I picked the rod up, and then I found that just wait for the bobber to go down. It's just pretty much as simple as that. Wait for the bobber to go down. There are some fish that will pull the bobber down and then pull it back up again, or dance with the bobber and push the bobber up. Yeah. So you just gotta be patient. Gotta be patient. Now he's pulling. Doesn't necessarily mean to say he's going to take the bait yet. Nope. Thinking about it. I don't know if you guys have noticed this. I had it with the bamboo rod, whereby you'd have the bobber placed in a certain position, and then you'd pick up the rod, and the end of the rod would flick like super violently and pull the bobber out of the water. You start to get a bite, and then you just, it was like it would pick it up really violently, rather than it just picking up the rod, and then you holding the rod. It would like, and then you were like, oh god, that's just fucked my fish up. You know what I mean? So then you just lost possibly a really good fish. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but it started doing it with this fishing rod particularly, and I've spent a decent amount on this setup, I would say. Probably somewhere in the region of 60-ish silver, 65 silver for this rod setup, for this Bolognese rod. The line on the bamboo is short. Right, okay. But it wasn't the line. There was slack on the line, like you can see on this one here. There was slack on the line. But when you pick up the rod, it would flick the end of the rod, so then it would move the bobber out. Yeah, it was quite frustrating, and I lost quite a few fish with that. So that's why I originally stopped using. Can you only use three rod setup? It doesn't allow you to have any more. Three is max. Okay. Since the bobber. Okay. Especially when you've got 2 or 3 bells ringing. I've noticed that. That's like, okay, left bell's ringing, right bell's ringing. Yeah. I think the balance of having your, like, a Bolognese rod and 2 bottom fishers, that is a really good. That's why I want to save up and get rid of the telestick, although it's been like this particular rod has caught me a lot right now, and I think I've probably only repaired it once in its lifetime that I've had this rod, and obviously it's never snapped. It's been It's been very reliable for me, so. Nice fish on. Oh, hello. It's falling out the reel. Come on. Let's wear him out. A good sized carp. Ocean carp? Come on, fella. In you come. Yeah, because you can miss really easily. Come here. No. Oh, no, you got off. Oh, you son of a bitch. You know what that was? I tried to get the reel out and... What? Hello? Yeah, I tried to get my my net out, get the fish in, and no. This main rod, yeah, probably. The break was on 15 or 14 or 15. The thing is, I don't want to over stress this rod. But yeah, I think I had it on. I think it was on. What was it on then? Just 12 or 13. So I could probably put it to 4. But I don't want to over tension the line or the line snap or anything like that. It's got a line leader on it. Or what was it? Not this one. It had a line leader on it. Did I not have a line leader on this one? No. Which one has the line leader on it? One? Yeah, this is the line leader. Yeah. Yeah, it's trying to the other thing I've been trying to do is trying to cast out at a short distance, and I found if you close the what's it called? If you close your bail in, then you can get a short cast in the correct position. 20ish should be safe. Okay. Reel to 30. It's 3 kilo break. Yeah, this rod's got the 4 kilo capacity, and this is 3 kilo reel. So I think going off your reel, I know it's got a £7 test, so it's slightly over. So it shouldn't stress the reel too much. The line will break before the reel, right? And the hook's okay. I think going with a smaller hook would be risky as well, because I would get some big fish. Even with maggots, you can get some big fish. The reel will only break, close it, or it runs. Oh, if it runs hot, okay. But the reel seems fine. It's only 1%, and the line's been on the here for quite a while now. I think I've had this at least. I would say, yeah, I'd say I had this rod for about a week. So yeah, it was a rod that KP Shimino was using on the third lake. Or was it Bream? But I didn't really get. I didn't like that position wasn't very good for me. So I went back to Lake 2 and fished in the camp spot on the right hand side, nearby where the tent is on the so to the right of the tent. That's where I've caught most of my fish. Now, that's a pretty good spot. But yeah, I mean, maggots seem pretty good for this area. So we've got worms on here, we've got maggots on here. I could probably change this to bread or something else, but this one is hasn't seen much action tonight. Yeah, I thought about switching to corn for the bottom feeder, but then again, it's quite a light setup. The reel's light and the line is light, so I didn't really want to risk it. So I think this is a pretty good setup right now. For my needs, it's pretty good. But I have noticed, you know, the bigger you go, the more the lines cost, etc., etc. The more the hooks cost. I think I've seen one of the hooks cost like, what was it, like 60 silver. Some of the lures can cost well over 50 or 60 silver. So, but yeah, I'd say this is a good mediocre setup. You know, this is enough to bring in the money. But then again, like, it's like real life. You go out fishing for a day, you might not catch, you may catch 1 or 2 fish, or you might have a really good day and maybe catch 6 or 7 fish, but, you know, other times you'll take 3 rods out and get absolutely nothing. So yeah, I think the RNG in this game is set up pretty good in that sense as well. Because, you know, it teaches you to be patient. You know. All your hooks cost 50 what, so they must be like, which hooks are you using? Are you using 2s? Yeah, you said you've got some big fish. Then again, you've got a really heavy setup, right? I mean, so, you know, let's say for example, what would you say your cheapest repair is for just one rod? Did you say it was like 500 silver? Or is that like, that's a big break? Yeah. Oh, and you said you use float fishing, or you use a combination of bottom and float? I didn't say, you said you pretty much concentrated on float fishing, right? 500 for the reel. Jesus. And that's fully broken, right? That's like crossed out. Man, that's expensive. A lot of money. I think that would be 3 days real life fishing on this 3 rod setup. And that would be, yeah. That would be fish after fish after fish. So let's say we saw Crossy had good carp, like 1.2, 1.3, and he was, you know, he was regularly bringing them in. So, like you can see here, this is the same spot. I'm not really doing much different apart from different baits. But I've got a bottom feeder on the left. I've got 2 float fishes here. So this is a decent setup. But, you know, like I said, I've just got to fish on. I've just got to be patient, not let my fish get off. In you come. There we go. So, okay, what is the rule? How do I know? How do I know when is a good time to bring out the net? Obviously, so it's one of 2 things, right? I would assume it would be 1, how long it takes you to reel in, so you know it's a big fish. See, that fish only took me like what, you know, 10 seconds to reel in. So judging on by if it's taking me, you know, 5 minutes IRL time, then I know that's then it's time to bring out the net. But when is a good time? Do you have to get yourself right up by the shore to then, you know? Oh, you gave all your feeder rods to beginners, right? 500 for the reel. Okay, all float fishing. Oh, it's a transmission and brake. Good lord. Always reel in as much as you can without lifting the rod. Wait, so you're saying just left click, just hold left click in and then right click when you can't reel in anymore? Oh, I see. Okay. Right, I'm learning. Okay. So reel in and then pull up. Okay. My son, funnily enough, I had him sat on my lap and he was watching me fish and I was just like playing with the fish like this, and I only said this once. I just went like this and kind of made the fish just go hello like this, and every time he sees me get a fish he's like hello fish, hello, and he's only 2, bless him. But no, it was funny. Yeah, when my daughter's well, I say my daughter, I treat her as my daughter, but my partner's daughter is coming up for 9, and she's pretty interested in the Fishing Planet, which for her I think it would be a good game to start off with. But she's interested in this, but she said this one looks more complicated, and I think she's correct on that. Had a huge fish in level 5. Was backing up to the bank because I was worried about his break. Oh right. Oh man. Yeah. Investing in a fishing net for the 24 silver that it costs. Is it 24 silver? Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's around 24, 25 silver. It's the best investment that you could possibly buy. So yeah, get yourself a fishing net when you can, because absolutely need it. Anything over a kilo you won't be able to reel in, even if it's on bamboo or your telescopic rod or whatever rod setup you have. It's an absolute nightmare, and it's absolutely gutting because you'd be like, I just lost money, and it's there and it's flapping, and it's like flapping on the shoreline, and then it just like escapes. You just look at the fish like rolling away. But yeah, it's like 20. I think it's around 20 silver. Yeah, best investment you could do. Sure. You press spacebar for the net, but you can bind that to other things. You could bind it to a mouse key if you really want. Like on my, I've got a Logitech G600, and I've got buttons 1, 2, and 3 as the rod set up. But like I said, they're not quite set up how they are. And then I've got 5, so middle mouse button to zoom in and out, because pressing Z is still a weird keybind for me. I've got shift as reel in, or reel in faster. Where is it? Where's my quick help? So as you can see, yeah, I've got my button set up as 5. It doesn't notice that. Yeah, I would probably set my backspace as G14 on my G600. I use the other, lost 2 bobbers now. The feather one is really good. Also, with the first fishing spot, you know you can go to the house that's behind you, and you can get yourself a free bamboo and free worms, and yeah, so you can basically get yourself a whole fishing setup. If you know you broke your shit, then you can replace. Yeah, the quill bobber is really good. It's really good. But yeah, I think the starting bobber that you get is quite efficient, I think, is it 4 gram bobber that you have? Yeah, this one, it's good to have a good supply of these, just in case you lose one. But obviously, you know, the more efficient you get at fishing, then you shouldn't lose too many bobbers. Your line might snap every now and again if you get a big fish on there. But other than that, it's just a case of, you know, being patient with your fish. It's 16 or 18, isn't it? I think they give you a 16 hook. It's the Rusty 16, if I remember rightly. Yeah. Actual fact, might still have those. Do I still have those? Yeah, it's this one. Yeah, small 16. I do have a large 2. I was thinking of fishing bigger fish, but I thought to myself, no, I'll hang tight. I bought myself some 12s. Having a good supply of bread as well, just for baits. No, it doesn't pay off. I mean, I could lose my whole setup with this hook. So, yeah. I mean, you know, and even still, diminishing returns on the market, I've noticed happens as well. You sell, the more fish you sell of a certain type of fish, they'll be like, okay, well, you'd be like, well, hold on a minute, this 1.2 kilo carp, you paid me 3 silver for, and now you're only going to pay me 0.50 silver? Yeah, diminishing returns, because, you know, you've already... Going on. Am I snagged? What the... game? Hello? What is my bobber halfway down there? Did I not reel it in? What the hell? I must have shot out the thing and just put it down. We'll put it there rather than, yeah, 2 miles out there. No. I honestly don't know. No idea. So, is it... Yeah, so your name is Korea Barber. Yeah, Korea. As in, place Korea. Catching fish fast now since I lost my bobber. Yeah. You can fish old school. I just don't think that I think you would need to, you know, upgrade your setup at some point. You know, like a bigger reel, investing in a bigger reel and test. So like the line, but obviously, you know, like Korea said, yeah. 3 fish in 45 seconds. Where are you fishing, by the way, Jacob? Are you fishing in the starter area, or are you fishing Lake 2? There's some really good fishing spots in the starting area, by the way. And some big fish. Big fish in there. I haven't... Yeah, don't heard anything from this one. I might recast. There we go. That's a bit better. £3? Be a £3 sinker? This one. This one. 60 grams. This is almost the setup that that he was using. Apart from he was using a different reel. And he was using £10 test, I think. To go for lighter sinkers. Alright, okay. Is this too much then? There's no flow in the lake. Okay. So you want a heavier sinker for wherever you're fishing. So, oh, I see. So let's say, for example, you're on River 3, where you've got, where it's basically pulling. There's a lot of current, so that's why you would use a heavier sinker, right? Hmm. Well, obviously you can see my silver situation right now, so I can't afford a smaller sinker right now, but eventually, I think, so I would go for a number 2 or number 1. Would be the lightest one. I just picked this one because I thought, you know, I'll not mimic the rod he was using, but I just wanted to see, and it was a good setup, so. Oh, speak of the devil. Wait, shit, wrong rod. This is just a little carp. Not even worth keeping. Keep him. Let's see. What have we got this one? About 16. 16 is a sweet spot, right? 16 is not going to break my shit. Okay. Down there. Oh, shit. Wrong one. Wait, no. That's the right rod. I've got my line length set to about 80. For this rod and this rod. Do you think 80 is too much? Well, I say that and I get a bite on the line. Did eat some food. Munching some bread. Okay. Oh, wait. Too late. Flat ones, okay. Yeah, wrong one. Oh, damn it. It's 2. It's real 2. There we go. There we go. There's a little one. A Chinese sleeper. Cool. I like the fact that it gets both skills up as well. I think once I've got another lot of monies, I'll probably get another Sorrento, but from a rod, this rod. So we're basically replacing this rod. Whoops. Yeah, that physics. Get out. Yeah, the wind is really pushing right now. All right, Korea Baba. Thanks for the for coming in and saying hi. Good catch. Cheers, man. Yeah, have a good sleep. Appreciate the info. I also have a Discord, but I haven't put Discord link in the chat yet. But you can also set that up as well. Is your name the same in game? Or is it a different name? That's another thing. I don't know how you add people, friends in game. No idea. I think in view players' profiles, but I don't know how you would add as friends. Oh, you're on German servers. Okay. Can't actually mess. Oh, right. Okay. That's fine. That's cool, man. Yeah, there's no friends list yet. But yeah. Another ickle fish. What's going on, man? Right, yeah. Alright, Korea. Have a good one, man. Enjoy your sleep. Cool. You're on the second map. Okay. Whereabouts are you fishing? On the second map? Another Chinese sleeper. Probably gonna find a big one soon. They're getting bigger and bigger. Nice crucian carp there. Yeah, I like to go, so from the village in map 2, I like to go down the Drunken Path, and then reach the camp where you can, like, you know, make all your drinks and stuff like that. So I'd make all my drinks there, and then on the right of there, there's a nice lily pad and reeds, and I fish there. That's another Chinese. Fish, I think I'm going to fish just slightly over. A little bit further in. Fish that. See how that fares. There's 4? Oh, 4. Yeah, there's 4 good fishing spots there. There's a really good night fishing spot on the left-hand side of the road. So you go up the road, and then you'll see like a split where you've got some rocks on the right, and then you carry on up the road or up the path, and there's some reeds on the left-hand side. There's like a plank of wood, and then near the plank of wood on the left-hand side, there's some really good reeds and grass and all that kind of stuff there, where you can fish, and that's a good night spot. Ah, right, yeah, nice, nice, good XP, man. Are you normal XP gains, or are you premium? Yeah, normal is definitely the way. Oh, good. I'll just recast that one. Oh, wait. Oh, that was weird. Okay. Yeah, very small fish. What do we have on the here? Apparently, we'll go for some bread, actually. I was having pretty good luck with bread. Well, pass this one on bread. And, with 3. Reel this in. Some worms on it instead. There we go. Yeah, there is a really good element in RNG to catching fish. Like here, where you saw Crossy, he was getting fish after fish after fish, and I was fishing here and not really getting much. But then again, he was chucking bait out, as well as putting bait on the rod and the reels and stuff, so on the hooks. So, but I do need to experiment with that, putting the bait balls out. Because that seemed to increase his fish count a lot. So we've got movement. We've got movement on both. This is bread. Bread on this one. No, this is worms. Oh, there's worms on this one. And we have bread on this one, and we've got worms on. Move the position so there's not much biting on this one, apparently. We'll pick up this one and see if we have... Oh, he was just about to go down. I should have left it. I should have left it that little bit longer. Oh, hello. We've got action. One down. Don't have action on this one. It's a small fish. Okay, put this one a little further out. Put it there. And rod one's fine. Nope. Okay. Thought we had action on this one, but nope. No action on that one. Thinking about it on this. Tasty worm. Do I take it? There's a roach. Oh, there's cushion carp. Yeah, very small fish right now. Very small fish. Although it all adds up. I mean, we're currently sitting at 17. I think our best catch... Oh, hello. In come the carp right now. I'm wondering if there are specific times for carp. Or if it's just to do with the bait you currently have. Let's see. Nope. Nope, okay. But you don't. Yeah, a nice 3-rod setup, Jacob. Is that what you're using? Are you using bamboo, telestick, and something else? Or... There's no reason why you couldn't run a 3-rod setup right now. Which I'm wondering, I think you are. Just out of curiosity, how is the stream? Is it laggy for people? Not quite sure if 5000 bit rate is a little bit too much for those people watching. I think, although saying that, when I was watching Cross's stream, he he was regularly getting fish at night, so I think night fishing is good for carp. Just in the spot. Stream's fine. Okay. Oh, you're using telestick. Okay. Okay. So are you just using one rod then? Oh, gutted, man. Gutted. More fish. What's a perch? Ah, nice. Cool. That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. Yeah. Yeah, definitely start small and then work your way up to maybe 2 and see how you get on, man. Oh shit. Let's reel in and recast. Thinking about it. Gonna take it. Oops. Is it like a typical game, bigger fish as you level up, or you can get big fish? You can get big fish anywhere. You can get big fish in the starting lake. You don't necessarily have to fish at the second lake, third lake, fourth lake. You can get big fish anywhere. So I found out that the size of your hook dictates what sort of size fish you can get. And yeah, so if you can get big fish, try and take your bait, but you'll notice that the line leader. So when you cast out like this, you'll see the bottom line, and how you read it is the first two lines are stress. So basically, what you want to try and do is once you have a reel and you start reeling in, you see how it starts going yellow. So this is good, and then as it starts getting wider and wider, it'll get to, orange and then red. Obviously, red means it's going to break. If you see it go red, Alt F4, immediately Alt F4 out of the game, and then that way you can save your rod, reel, and line, and then you can, then you can get back in the game and recast and do whatever you need to do. So the way that you can gauge it is 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 literally by that. So if you know that your brake, if you set your brake too high, then that can snap either your rod or your reel or your line. So yeah, so what you want to try and do is balance so that the test, i.e. the line that you put on your rod, is equal to or slightly more than your reel, which means that you're going to break your line more than you'd actually break your reel. Currently, you're only using a telestick, so therefore you're going to break one of two things, which is your rod or your line, and or your bobber. But like the bobber doesn't really, the bobber doesn't actually matter, from what I've seen so far. But I think once you get, once you get bigger fish, then yeah, it's really gonna matter. Ooh. Wrong one. So you see how you can see that see how the bend on there, you can tell that this is a fairly big fish, and you can hear it spooling. So what we do is you put the brake more. So basically what the brake does is allow it to basically wear the fish out. So you can hear it's spooling the reel. So this is quite a big fish. This is over a kilo. And you can tell that by the way he's pulling a line out. Right? So all we're gonna do is we're just gonna keep reeling, reeling, and reeling. And we want him to wear himself out. So I can put more brake on, but what I don't want to do is put the brake on so that it goes past the second white line. In other words, it'll break my shit. Right. So in order to have brake and that sort of thing, you need to press up and down on your mouse wheel, okay? But you need to have a line that has a reel on it. So you'll only so see how I'm reeling in here. Oh, right. So now he's going to put more pressure on the line. So what you're doing is you're adjusting your brake so that you wear the fish out enough so you pull him in. But what you don't want to do is put too much brake on and then it break your line or whatever. But yeah, that's basically how you work it. So we're just going to keep reeling in. So you can hear he's not knackered yet. He's taking line. But all we do is just be patient and just keep reeling in and reeling in until the fish gets tired. And then, yeah, then we go from there. So now I'm going to put more brake on. I usually do it in like increments of 1 or 2 and then start pulling in. And if I see that the line starts to get heavy on the reel. So now this is pretty good. I could probably increase the brake. But we don't want him to increase to pull too hard, otherwise we'll snap either the line or we can even break the rod. So now we're just reeling in and reeling in until it gets tired. It's basically a balance of brake and reel speed, but my reel speed's pretty good actually. Yeah, so now I can feel him. You hear how you can hear the reel. The crunch of the reel means that he's putting pressure on the reel, not on the line. And so when he spools out, then that's when you want to ease the brake off. In other words, reduce your brake and then increase your brake so that see how we wore him out. Look, there he goes. There he is. And then we just pull him in. There we go. Nice carp. Nice carp. See that, and that's patience. Having the patience to reel in, not use too much brake, and wear the fish out, not wear your gear out. Yeah, that's where it comes into good fishing. And see, so here I can choose to keep him, which I will. However, if you're good on money and you just want the experience, then release the fish for more XP. If you want, you know, let's say you're almost level 12 or level 13 or whatever, and then you can release it for more experience. Generally, you wouldn't, because you want the money for the fish, and that's a nice carp right there. And he deserves a screenshot. But yeah, see how that was a good fight for that fish. Nice carp. And we'll just cast back out. So now what I want to do is bring my friction brake down, because you never know what size fish you'll get, and a brake of between 12 and 13 is good. And my reeling speed is fine. How do you screenshot? I press F12 in game. So if you press F1, you can see what your screenshot. See, yeah, see, there you go, F12, and you can change that. You could change that to print screen if you wanted to. You can rejiggerate all those by going into your settings and going to controls, and then pressing, excuse me, either pressing another button for your screenshot, or just change the button to whatever you want it to be. So you just left click and then change it to print screen or whatever. Mouse sensitivity, if you want your if you like it so that down is up and up is down, you can change that as well. All sorts of useful keybinds are in here, so you can change those at any point. And there's a quick menu which is F1 to show you what you've set things to. Like I said, I've got my middle mouse, not middle mouse button. I've got, like I said, I've got a G600, so I set my zoom in button to something else. But yeah, F12, a screenshot. Unlucky. Unlucky that guy's fish got away. Yeah, it's pretty quick to get to the fourth lake. Although, like I say, you don't have to get there. Bread. Jacob, cheers for the follow, man. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. It's annoying when your bobber goes under and you can't see it. Yeah. Are you using your flashlight? And in the dark, you are using a flashlight, right? At night? Because you can also set your in-game settings so that you can, when it's nighttime, you don't actually have to use a flashlight. You can just, you can adjust your contrast settings. And it will allow you just to see everything better. It's usually better just to zoom in on your bobber. But it depends on how far you cast out your bobber. Usually, it's good to keep it within range. So what I mean by within range is that, you know, it's a good, I'd say about 20 feet away or something like that from where you stand to where you cast out, so that you're not like squinting to see the bobber. Because if you're not zoomed in, then you're gonna have a problem seeing your bobber way out in the water. A lot of ground bait. Yeah, that's true. That is true. I understand what you mean there. The trick with knowing, if you're using a 2-rod setup and the fish is taking the bait, usually you have, I think it's like a 10 or 20 second window. Then again, I found if I've had like 3 rods set up, and had a fish on like the first and second one, or I've had fish on 2 rods and then been fishing with a third, and by the time I've come back to the first and second one, the first fish that was already on is still on there. So I'm not entirely sure. I think it's just purely RNG based, but you usually want about a 5 to 10 second rule. See how he's taken the line now? Now I'm going to pick up my line, and now I'm going to reel my fish in. So, yeah, like the carp's nighttime fish, definitely. It feels like that. See, this is definitely another carp. This is a good sized carp. This is probably like 800 or 900. Is this worth a fishing? Reeling? Come on, little fella. In you come. There we go. Yeah, see, that's a 400. Like, oh, it's a lucky fish as well. Yeah, it can be quite annoying to try and figure out. But usually, rule of thumb is like, let's say you cast out a long way like this, and then you just bring in. But yeah, like I like to get. What do I do there? Yeah. So basically, like when you look at your rod, if you're zoomed in, you want to make sure that your bobber is sort of like this area, if that makes sense. So yeah, around this area, too far out. I mean, you can cast it far out there if you want to, but usually about this area seems a good sweet spot, because when you're zoomed in and out, then yeah, it's not too far to see what's going on. Like there, that's too far out. Interesting. I got a fish. I got a fish and I wasn't even trying then. Come on, in you come. There we go. 57 carp. You basically cut him up for bait. I mean, when the fish pulls it under, you don't see it anymore, so you reel it in. Okay. What I've found is you'll have certain fish that will have different patterns. So like bream, I think is it bream? Bream will carp will play with the bobber and then pull it down. Other fish will play with the bobber, pull it down, and push it back up again, and then pull it down. So they'll pull it down for a second time. So you have to kind of gauge what the bobber's doing. So you'd be like, okay, I'm gonna search. I'm gonna fish these fish on this side of the lake, and I know that if I use this bait, I'm more than likely to get these fish, or if I use this bait, I'm definitely going to get these type of fish. So you can kind of narrow it down, and depending on like the time of day. So like at time of day, as you can see here, nighttime is really good on carp. Daytime is good on like you know, roach and that sort of thing here. So what I do is I'll look at the bobber and say, okay, usually if it's like bob 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 and then goes down, then you know on the as the bobber. So what you want to do is as the top of it, like, or quill or whatever you're using goes down, submerges, and doesn't come back up, that's when you want to strike, right? That's what I've learned so far. But like I said, sometimes you'll have your bobber go down, come back up, and go down again. So just keep an eye and pay attention. If it's down for more than 2 or 3 seconds, then you know you can strike. That's basically my rule of thumb so far. In terms of every lake that I've been to, that's usually how the fish tend to react. As far as what bait you have on there, other fish will just be like, take the bait, boom, gone. That will be like roach, bream, those sorts of fish. Like I think bream pretty much want to take your bait straight away, and they just grab it. So yeah, definitely learn your fish, learn what it does with the bobber, you know. But and like you'll have a specific spot that you want to fish in, and what fish you want to pull in. Generally speaking, when this was in Russian, I'd go by like, okay, that's the fish I want, and then I would screenshot, or I would like write down on a notepad, okay, this fish at this time, and this fish daytime, this fish nighttime. Yeah. You see how that went straight down? That's like that was a bream. See, and now it's gone back up, and now it's gone back down again, and okay. I want to strike. Nope. See? That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you can literally be your timing was off, and then other times your timing will be spot on and you get your fish every single time. So yeah, it's pretty much RNG. Like fish will get off in RL, you know. They'll have a fish on for like 20 seconds on the line, and then when they go there and then they strike, no. So yeah, it's it's just life, man. Like it's like shit happens, and then okay, next fish. There really isn't much you can do about that. It's a little disheartening knowing that could have been a big fish and it got away, but also, if you notice, the third bar down is my luck, and the more lucky fish you fish, the more fish you're going to reel in, from what I gather. So you're more likely to catch a fish the luckier you are, and the way you increase that is just to fish. Now I'm not sure if there's if there's a certain way to catch more lucky fish. I think like once you've caught a lucky fish, so your percentage basically then goes up by like 2%. I think it actually says on their lucky is just 1, and it goes up and up and up in increments. But I saw a lady of games. She was fishing on the test server, and her luck bar was pretty much half full, and it was just like fish after fish after fish, and it wasn't just like she has the 3 rods set up like I do, but she has 2 bottom feeders and 1 float fishing set up. But as you can see, like the bottom feeder on the left hand side there hasn't gotten anything so far, apart from, you know, apart from my main line, which is the middle one. Okay, fish on. That's carp. Keep the line on. There we go. Carp. Like it, gibble carp. Yeah, crucian carp. Mean is deceptive. It's deceptive on how much the line bends, even with a small fish like this. But that's just under half a kilo, and that fish pulled that rod like it was nothing. Oh, you get perch in here. Oh, I haven't got a perch so far. I think it just depends on where you fish. Like here is really good for carp, Chinese fish, and what was the other? Yeah, crucian carp, sleeper. Yeah, this is a really good place for carp and roach. Small roach. Well, I'd say that's not really a small roach. That's over, just under. But yeah, just over half a kilo. You see that? Did you see that? I'm not sure if you did see that, but the bobber went down, disappeared, came back up again. Go down. Rule of thumb. Yeah, see how he's just playing with it? It's just a patience and waiting game. He's still interested. He's dancing with it. He's taking it out to dinner. He's offered it wine. Now, I'm still going to wait. I'm not going to strike yet. I'm going to wait. I'm just going to pick my rod up. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to wait for it to go back down again. Yeah, see, this one's playing. But I'm just going to wait on this fish. Playing with it. Taking it for a walk. Yeah, patience with this fish. Okay, he lost interest. Oh no, he's back. Yeah, so he goes in, he bobs it, then goes down, then waits, goes back up again. Potentially this could be a really small fish. I'm not going to strike yet. There we go. Okay. Nope, he's gone. Fish got away. Yeah, that was weird. He took the bait. Yeah, he took the bait. Oh well. Maybe if I'd striked a little bit earlier on that one, but then he probably would have got away anyway. So, Bit of perseverance on that one. Wow, that grass carp. Jesus, 0.4 kilos. Very nice. Very nice fish. I think what we'll do now is we'll recast. Nope. Oh, interesting. I was just about to go and recast. I was just about to go and recast my second rod, which is this one. Only I picked up the first one, yeah, and there was a fish on it. Luckily enough. Lost it slightly in the reeds there. Back on the line. There we go. So what we have, 8 in the morning. Quite a nice day out, nice and sunny. We're on 26. I want to try and get to 30 before I sell. Maybe I'll go 50. Maybe I'll just go like 2 or 3 days worth of fishing in game. Try and get a decent haul of fish before I sell. But I've got to be careful because, you know, you've got diminishing returns, so. Oh, hello. This is a reasonably big fish. No, it's not. That's so weird. Like, it pulled the line. That pulled the line a lot. And, I thought that was a big fish. Wasn't. Definitely bend the rod good. Even if it's like 300-400 grams, it'll bend your rod really well. Nice crucian carp there. Also, changing your line leader does influence what kind of fish you get. So if you know that certain fish will be like a meter down, then set your line leader for that. Small fish. Yeah, nice little roach. Bottom fishing skill is coming along nicely. Tension on the line. No interest on this. Thinking about it. Too early. Far too early on that one. Well, I had a fish on there, it's gone now. Oh well. Reel this one in a little bit more. There somewhere. I mean, it's not bad XP here. Yeah, Lake 2 definitely gives good XP. Really good XP. Although I think if I was running on a 3 bobber setup, bobber setup's quite different compared to bottom feeding. Bottom feeding is really good money. But it's not necessarily. There we go. Little tiny fish on this one. Teeny tiny fish. I wonder if we change the bait on this rod back to worms. See how we get on with it. I think I was on bread before. Actually, no. I'll try. I am going to try some of this semolina. See how we get on. Semolina. I was gifted this, so I shall use it. See how we get on. Rod 2 is... Yeah, Rod 2 had some interest. Nope, not anymore. Fish was like, nope. I don't want your worms. Oh, what have we got on here? Bread? I think it's bread. Yeah, bread. Yeah, nice piece of advice I got from Lady of Games and also Sasquatch. Is to eat 3 pieces of bread and then craft 1. So that way you'll always keep yourself topped up with bread. Bread's pretty good for most fish. But yeah, it's always good to keep one bread or one stack of bread, so that you've got plenty of bait. And I really need to open up my crafting system, and I need to get into that more. Start making all of this kind of stuff. Be cool. And then ground baits. I want to start mixing these. I think I can do these now. But I want to get all the, obviously money is an issue right now because I've just bought the bottom feeder. But yeah, that should be fun. Busy on the ground bait right now. Pickle fish. Yeah, it's like a 300 gram. Little roach. Perfect. Now we wait. It's like the calm before the storm. All 3 rods then go. You're going to play with Rod 1? Yeah, he's going to play with Rod 1. You're a fisherman now? Game's great. Game is great, KW. I love it. Absolutely love it. I started out on Fishing Planet, and I heard about Russian Fishing 4. So I played it in Russian for a while, and that was interesting. And now there's an English version. So if you're interested in the game, definitely check it out. Yeah, it's a short registration, and then once you've done that, you can go for premium if you want to. Check out all the read up on the game. I don't know if you've already played it or if you've heard about it, but it's really good, really in depth. I like it. Thoroughly enjoy it. Definitely sets it apart from Fishing Planet. Fishing Planet is very arcadey, that's for certain. Good fun, still good fun. I'm not saying it's not, but yeah, this is definitely more in depth. This is more of a simulating than the arcade style. Little fish on this one. Yeah, very small. What I will say, KW, is if you do get into this game, it's super addictive. Like, I thought Fishing Planet was addictive until I started playing this game, and then this game is just like, holy Christ, what is going on my line? I swear I... Oh, what the hell? Fish? Nope, fish on. Fish on? Yeah, fish on. What the shit? That didn't even ring? Wow, that was odd. I was like, why is the line slack? Weird. So yeah, I'm technically not a fisherman yet. I'm nowhere near a fisherman. But I've been playing the game for, I'd say, around 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, something like that. And yeah, I thoroughly enjoy it, man. It's really good. You heard it ring? I didn't hear it ring, man. Didn't hear it ring. Because I set the line, and then I did line 1, and yeah, I don't know. See? There goes the slack. Did anyone hear that ring then? Look. Line slack. Did I close the bail? Maybe I didn't close the bail. There we go. Nope. Shit. Wrong rod. Nice. Did you want the website address, KW? Or I'm sure you'll find it yourself, but I can give you the website address. If you're interested. Yeah, oh yeah, there it goes. You're right. That was very very quiet. Well, that was odd. Yeah, fish got away. That's fine. Set it down again. Oh shit. Nope. Wait, do we have a fish on? Nope. Okay. I'm starting to second guess myself here. Okay. Now it's set. Okay. Leave that for now. It's got semolina on there, so I think the fish are definitely taking an interest to this. We have... Oh. Wait, what? No bait on this one? No, I got worms on it. That was... Oh, that was odd. Yeah, worms on this one. Yeah, we've got bread on this one. Cool. So these are the kind of things that you can craft. But you need to... So basically you have to unlock with your available points when you level up. And yeah, so basically it gives you increases more of the ability that you can make ground bait, which is pretty cool. But each point you put in then increases the components that you need. So rather than having one component, then you can have up to 7th level components and that sort of thing. Pretty cool. And then you can harvest bait, so basically buy yourself a shovel and dig for worms. And then obviously the more you get invested in this, then you can like you can see here, you can make sweet dough, you can harvest bloodworms, you can do all sorts, to the point where you can cut your own fish. So you say you get a small bream or something like that, then you can cut it up and make it into bait, which is nice. Hello, that is my second, that's my first rod. He's a decent sized fish. In you come. Yeah, nice carp. Alright. Now, I did bookmark it for the English version. There we go. If you're interested, KW, there is a link. That's for the English version. I mean, if you really wanted to play it in Russian, then you can play it in the Russian version, but yeah. Of course, register an account, doesn't take very long, and then there's the download for the game. Current requirements for the game, it's pretty low. You know, depending on your setup and stuff. I know you've got a pretty beefy PC, I think. Yeah. But there are literally a ton of really good tutorials out there. Lady of Games, Sasquatch, Hawkeye M. He also does some really good fishing tutorials out there. Yeah, I really like it. It's different. It really is different. Starting to bring in nice fish on Semolina now. Put that down there. So as far as fishing together, you can fish together in the same area. In like Fishing Planet, you know, you'll find that people will be fishing directly in front of you and can be slightly annoying. But you will be, you can fish, you know, in the same lake. So this is Lake 4. So basically, you have the starter lake. Then the even the starter lake, you get big fish, but you'll start off in this lake. This is where you do the tutorial, how to move, how to set up your rod, reel, line, that sort of thing, leader depth, and then once you're happy, I mean, you can fish in whichever pond, but yeah, they all unlock at different levels. This is 16, yeah. Be 18, this will be 20. Now I was looking on Lady of Games channel on YouTube, and she's also got a Twitch, by the way, and she's currently on a holiday, so you won't see her playing on Twitch, but it's Lady 0F Games, so basically of games, but it's 0. And there was one time where the developer said, "We've got a new area that we want to test." So she's like, "Oh yeah, right, okay." And he transported her to basically a prison. So she was stuck in prison, and the punishment is that you had to fish up a 1 kilo fish. And then once you'd fished up the fish, then you handed it into the there's basically like a place where you would hand in your fish or whatever. So you'd hand in the fish and then you could go. So as punishment for people in the game that were behaving like idiots, they send you there. And until you've fished up a certain amount of fish or a certain weight of fish, you can't leave. So I thought that was quite an ingenious idea. I don't know if they're actually going to implement it, but yeah, I thought that was an interesting way of sorting out trolls in game. Oh, that's little tiny fish. Yeah, it's very deceptive, this game, in terms of how it affects the rod, the physics on the rod. Sometimes you get like 1 kilo fish on your rod, and the rod doesn't really bend as much, and you'll get like, you know, a 40-gram carp on there, and it will just bend the shit out of it. Yeah, it is different. It is different. And it's free. And it's free. It's pretty much like not the hunter, because you have to pay for that one, but the one that's free. Yeah. You can obviously go premium if you wanted to, but I'm unsure of the benefits of premium. I think premium basically gives you extra XP. And that sort of thing. Oh, the other thing about premium is it allows you to gift things to other players, depending on which server you're on. Before, it used to be just everyone was on the Russian server, but now they split them up into English, German, and of course Russian. So, you know, those are the 3 separate servers currently. And the game is only 30% finished. Well, I say 30% finished. It's 30% in. And, yeah, it's coming along nicely. And there's a lot of things that they want to implement in, like canal fishing in like Amsterdam and areas like that. Yeah, all sorts of fishing. It's gonna be cool. Gonna be cool. Yeah, you can like zoom in on the fish and check out what it looks like. I've also noticed that trophy fish and unique fish have different coloured fins. That's one thing I did notice. So for example, in the bag here, I haven't actually fished up any, but you'll get like a sort of V or a tick onto your fish, which will indicate that it's a rarer species of. I'm so surprised that that Squirrel hasn't picked up on this. Maybe he did, because he did make a video about Fishing Planet. So I know he's into that, but maybe because this was in Russian, maybe it was putting him off in playing it. But perhaps he's playing Russian Fishing 4, and I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, it's a really good game. It's very in depth. It's very in depth. Like as a lot of, you know, real fishermen have said, this is about as close as real life fishing as you can get, without actually having to, you know, pick up all the rods and go out there and fish yourself. So very, very, very good. Very good. And I had said to myself, oh, I wouldn't mind getting into fishing. But yeah, I was looking for a good fishing game, found Fishing Planet, and it's good, but it isn't good as this one. I think graphically they're around the same. They use the same use the same engine, I think. But the physics in this game seems a lot better. And you also have to feed yourself in the game. You don't die or anything. It's just that, you know, as long as you're well fed, and your comfort level is good. So here down the bottom you can see this is your energy, this is your food, how well nourished you are, this is your luck. You fish lucky fish. The more lucky fish you fish up, the luckier that you are with the fish that you catch, I think. And then this is your comfort level. And of course if it's pissing down with rain, or that kind of thing, then this bar will decrease. But you can do things to counteract that by drinking alcohol. Alcohol will also give you extra XP when you fish, because obviously managing 3 rods, being piss drunk, is quite funny. So, you know, that's also a good element to add. And like for example, you can make a thermos of tea, coffee, and also mulled wine. But unfortunately, there's no mulled wine on the market currently, so everyone has kind of pinched that up. Because I think mulled wine is probably the best drink you can drink that will give you a good amount of comfort, but also gives you extra XP because it's wine. And of course, you're getting schlozzled on that. But it is funny because like the first time I was like, that's fucking genius. You know, go fishing blind drunk. Managing 3 rods when you're blind drunk is, you know, I mean it's bad enough when you're sober, but yeah, I can imagine being blind drunk. But there are things to counteract that. By drinking tea and coffee, you can then counteract not being so drunk. But why would you want to hinder your XP by sobering up? But yeah, this is from all the Americans that played the game, there are certain fish, like breeds of fish that they didn't recognize, but there are bream, there's roach, there's carp, there's all sorts. So yeah, where is it? to statistics. Fish. Here's all the kind of fish that you can catch. I think there might be adding more fish in. But yeah, these are the ones that you can currently catch. Crayfish are worth a lot. Frogs are worth a lot. So yeah, river mussel. These are actually worth quite a bit. That's my best catch. I think it shows you your best catch currently. But like I said, I've had a 1.9 roach, I think. Somewhere? Yeah. I had a really nice roach. Not common roach. He's in here somewhere. But you can also check your statistics as to what fish you caught. So here, there's a 1.9 chub. Tells you what you fished it with. What's caught you the most fish in terms of the rods that you use. But yeah, the telescopic rod has caught me a lot of fish. See here. And then which floats you like to use. That sort of thing. What's caught the most fish out of the bait that you've used. So yeah, I'm kind of experimenting with what baits to use. And then what you currently used and what's the most thing that you've consumed, in other words. And then you've got like weird achievements. I have caught a fish with a bolognese rig, but I'm not entirely sure why I haven't got this achievement yet. Maybe you have to fish downstream with the rod, I don't know. Yeah, Texas rig, this is something interesting. So basically, the way it works is that if I bring up my skills menu, so you can specialize. You can specialize in what kind of fishing you want to do. So you want to do bottom fishing, you fish with that setup. You want to do spin fishing and that sort of thing, then by all means go with that setup. However, they all seem to like interconnect as you get more into it. So now, with the float fishing, you can then, so the more I fish into here, you'll see that I need 45% and I can use a luminous float, which would be really handy. But from what I heard is bottom fishing pays out more. So now I've started to use a rod setup that has a bottom, that does, you know, bottom fishing. I have points that I can invest in this. There is also points that I want to invest in here as well. So I'm not sure. I think I only need to reach a certain percentage, which then unlocks everything. So yeah, it's an interesting one. Oh, also, you will get to a certain percent here, and then everything carries over to this one. So you don't need to rejig points into here. Now, if you wanted to spend money on the game, in terms of like gold, gold will allow you to, you know, increase your the amount that you gain your points and stuff like that. So you'll unlock things sooner rather than later, which is cool. Also, gold will allow you to repair your stuff quicker. So it allows you to instantly repair your stuff. Lines, reels, that sort of thing. Yeah, apparently you need like 30% in making stuff to be proficient. And I'm nowhere near that right now, so I started harvesting baits, which is basically just digging for worms, but that uses energy. So you need to, you need to drink coffee or Coke. Oh, that's a good fish on there. I say it's a good fish. Yeah, it's a small carp. Yeah, this telescopic rod is no mean slouch. It will look after you well. It will definitely look after you. Other than that, it's really just experiment with the bait, that sort of thing. But repairing rods is extremely expensive. That is a massive money sink. Repairing your rods and that sort of thing. And reels and line will cost you a lot of money. A lot of money. I didn't hear the bell go off. It hasn't gone off yet. We'll leave that. There we go. Fish on. Nice carp. That rod down. Now, rod 3 is still doing its thing, so we'll just set this rod back up. And hope that rod 3 doesn't go on his merry way. Nope. Nope, he got away. There we go. Yeah, this is definitely an interesting one to get into, and it's nice and chill. You know. Doesn't involve me, driving at 100 miles an hour down the road with, 50 tons of helicopter on the back. Well, actually, it would be, what was it, 20 tons, if I remember rightly, but those were the good old days, right, KW? It's actually been a couple of years. Well, about a year since I played ETS. And I haven't touched ATS since it came out. Only briefly did I play it when Tails and Slim when it was released, actually. And I streamed it for a while, but people didn't seem interested in ATS. ETS, everyone's still interested in now. Yeah, don't blame me if you get addicted to Russian Fishing 4. Because it is a super addictive game. Yeah, you can really invest some hours, time, and money. So yeah, definitely be careful because it'll grab you. It'll grab you by the kahunas and you'll just, yeah, you won't be able to get away from it. Are you a real life fisherman, KW? I don't think I ever asked. You're a fisherman now, Chaz. I like that. You're a fisherman now? Excuse me. Get this one in first. There's a nice carp. That's quite a fat fish right there. Now, if I was to release him, he would give me a little bit more XP, but I just want the money. And nighttime seems really good for carp in this spot. So. Oh, oops. More of a hunter actually, but too old for most of it. Ah, right, yeah. Yeah, I noticed you are quite deep into hunter. There's a new DLC out for the hunter, right? Supposed to be really good, where you can like properly hunt together now. I was watching Elheim play. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I was watching Elo play and Richard Hammer. They were both playing that together. Well, not together, but separately, which is pretty cool. Shedding some light on that. I think Spam played it a while or two back. I'm trying to remember if the hunter is the one where you do certain body shots, and there's like a free to play one, but I can't remember the name of it. Honestly can't remember. Oh, rip. Oh, I didn't lose it. Wait, what? Okay. I thought I'd lost that fish. I was just reeling in, just be like, oh, well, I lost the fish, let's recast. There we go. Yeah, there's a new map. Both games have always been... both have been always multiplayer. Ah, okay. It got renamed to the Hunter Classic. So which is the free-to-play one? Because I know there was a free-to-play one. And then there was the one that you play for. So the Hunter Call for the Wild is the one that you have to pay for. Huh. There's Bradley there, getting a record carp. Very nice. Very nice carp. Water body record for common roach. 952 grams. Oh, so Classic is free to play with lots of microtransaction. Yeah, nice. Bonus luck fish. Yeah, different fin species have different coloured fins, I found out. I had no idea, but I know that now. Is that Call of the Wild is $30 plus some DLC, $4 to $8. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I really would like to play the one that costs money, but I don't have the money, so I can't play it. But yeah, I wanted to try and get into that as well. I wouldn't mind streaming that too, but obviously not having the game. So I was looking into the free-to-play one. So the free-to-play one is the Hunter Call of the Wild. I don't know, I think I put it down on my wish list. So I'm not sure if I put it the free one on my wish list or the one that I have to pay for. Possibly the one that I have to pay for. More than likely. So that's fine. Oh, hello. There is a big fish on this line. Or maybe not. Maybe not. That was deceptive. That carp was deceptive. Still, it was fairly big. Under a kilo. Yeah. You can only hunt 5 different animals with 2 animals in rotation. Oh, I see. I think I missed out on that. Oh no, maybe. Alright. I'm gonna fish up to 50 fish. So we'll see how much action we get on these 2 here. Hopefully we get a couple more fish on these 2. A little more arcadey, but one-time purchase and hunt what you like. Okay. They're both the same in the way that you have to body shot, because I think like were they both the same in terms of how you hunt them? I think the one that Spam played many years, like I think this was a couple of years back. I think it was the paid for one, and you know, you would see the bullet like penetrate in, almost like oh shit, what was that war game? Sniper 3, Sniper Elite 3, where you would get certain body shots, and the same thing would apply to animals. So like you'd hit them in the flank, you'd see the bullet entry and that sort of thing. That was the one that I was interested in playing, if that makes sense. Right, so we'll put that one away. And we'll wait on these 2. Hopefully we get a bite. If we don't, we'll put them in. Then we'll go sell our stuff. I'm hoping to get around... I hope to get around 20 silver. Me. I haven't had very, very big fish. But what I have had has been decent-ish size. That was a good carp. I think I got 1 or 2 decent carp. I had a 1.7 and a 1.9. Did I have a 1.9? Maybe it was only that 1.7. The Cabela's game? Let me see. Yeah. Yes, it was. It was Cabela's Big Game Hunter. It was on Steam, right? That was the one that I was looking for. Because he had... There he is. Yeah, this was the one I was interested in playing. This was a while ago. This is 3 years ago. Yeah, you had bullet time, energy, that sort of thing. Yeah, and the bear absolutely shreds him. Here you go. This is what I remember. This one. Yeah, that one. As far as I remember, I think that was on Steam. Maybe it was maybe he bought it or something. So hopefully we get 2 more bites and then we can go sell. Oh, it's raining now. Cool. I don't think that one is on Steam, is it? Yeah, it's £20. I might have put this on my wish list. No, I didn't put it on my wish list. I'll put it on my wish list. But it looked cool. It really looked cool. Yeah, 25th of March 2014. So the other one was Call of the Wild. Call of the Wild? Yes, £30. Yeah, it's already on my wish list. Yeah, with a bunch of DLC. Okay. Wait a minute. Classic is free to play with lots of microtransactions. When you mean classic? What? Where is the classic one? Oh, there it is. Okay. I found it. I found it. I found it. Found it. Yeah, I can understand that. That's definitely more your style. I don't know. I think I would prefer both, but yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that's the one I'm currently looking at. Yeah, that's the £30 one. That's on my wish list. That's on my wish list, but yeah, that's well out of my budget. I can't afford that. Wait, what? Buy the Hunter, Call of the Wild, Head Start Bundle, limited time offer. What? £8.37. The ultimate starter bundle is everything. Hmm. Like I said, I don't have the cash for it, so. Yeah, the classic I'll definitely take a look at. I'll take a look at the free to play because it's free to play. But 30 quid is a lot of money for me, considering Sniggles isn't working now, so back to me looking for work. So we still need to find out whether or not I'll need to look after her. She started work and then like she's had problems with her ear in terms of like she has like a constant ringing in her ear. I'm not sure if it's tinnitus or something like that, but doctors kind of think that she may have Marinaire's disease or whatever it's called. So she needs to go for an MRI so that they can check out if there's anything else wrong with her. And if that's the case, then I might end up having to be like a full-time carer for her, not with, because they also said that she's suffering from vertigo. So I mean, that may cause an issue with her going to work as well. But considering what this government is like, they may force her into work. So who knows? But if the doctor can say, okay, well, we'll sign you off on sick, and then your partner can look after you, then that might be the case as well. So I don't know. We'll have to see how that pans out. Hopefully, it's the you know, she can work. She wants to work. So I mean, you know, like I said, I'll do either. I'll work or I'll look after the kids. It's no skin off my nose. We'll see how it all pans out. So hopefully within 2.5 to 3 weeks she'll have the MRI so that we can find out you know, what the situation is. Such is life. Yeah, such is life. And then there's medication she's taking. Yeah, man. I mean, she's had problems with her ears for years, but the doctor's never really done anything about it, apart from, you know, oh, we'll take some paracetamol and rest up and, you know, try to watch what you eat and that sort of thing. But apparently they're saying that she may have to completely change her diet depending on what the outcome is. So, and the medication she's currently on is amitriptyline she's taking, and a couple of other things that I can't remember. But the amitriptyline, they've just upped her dosage, so she's pretty out of it right now, especially in the evening time when he has to take her nighttime tablet. So, um, she's like, they don't taste very nice. I'm like, well, no, that stuff doesn't taste nice. Yeah, she's trooping on as usual. Trooping on as usual. But yeah, she's been playing on the PS4 and enjoying all of her programs as she does. The little one is good. He just turned 2, and he's into everything. Wants to know everything. And the funny thing is, I started playing these fishing games, and Fishing Planet was the first one I played, but he didn't really get into that. And whereas this one, he'll sit with me on my lap and he'll want to, you know, he says, "Oh look, fishy," and it's flapping. And when you catch a fish, you can like zoom in. So I zoomed in one day and kind of said to made the fish kind of say like hello and that. And so every time he sees the fish, he's like, "Hello, hello, fishy, hello." It's funny as hell, man. And he picks up on everything. Everything I say, everything I repeat, he repeats. Or mum, whatever mum says, he'll repeat as well. So I have to watch what I say, and usually, yeah, he has repeated really, really bad words, which obviously most kids do, because you know it's mum and dad. But yeah, he's a character right now. Oh my god, man! If there's a way to turn off whinging in children, can you let me know? Because he doesn't stop whinging, man. He's okay with me. I mean, he'll have a little whinge and I'll say, "Okay, that's enough. You know, you need to stop now." But with mum, oh my god, man. Like I'll be sleeping and mum will be awake because obviously she's taken Bo to school. And it gets to the point where I'm like, "Jonathan, quiet, be quiet, stop." And he'll still have a go at his mum. I don't know what it is, but as soon as I enter the room, it's like, "Nope, I'm good as gold. Hi, Daddy. How are you?" I'm like, "I'm good. I'm good." So yeah, it's very. I think he had his terrible twos when he was like 1.5, 1, and now he's into like, you know, just yeah. He's just being a kid, obviously, but there isn't an off switch. There's not an off switch for whinging. I wish there was. But yeah, he's just general kiddie. Oh, he will push mum. He will push mum until she's like at the end of her tether. And then as soon as he either hears me up or I'll be like, "Jonathan, quiet," kind of thing, and I'm trying to go back to sleep or something, and he'll just be nagging. But there are certain times where, you know, he'll be stood in his cot, and he'll give you the bottom lip, and you can see his eyes tear up, and he'll be like, "Daddy, cuddle," and I'm like, "God damn it, Jonathan." So then you take him out and you put him on your lap, and then he wants to be into everything. It's like, "What's that? Daddy, what's that? Daddy juice, what's that? What's that juice? What's that keyboard?" Yeah, he's like, he'll mention everything. You know. And so you'll be like, "Okay, are you going to sit and chill with Daddy? Or are you going to go off and play with your toys?" So you give him a toy, but then he'll want to play with all of the other toys all at the same time. So, yeah, he's good. Bo is doing really well at school. She's doing really well. She's moved schools. And yeah, so apparently Bo has a vitamin D deficiency. We're not sure how, because I mean, you know, she gets plenty of sun. I mean, she's out during break time at school. We're not entirely sure how she has a vitamin D deficiency, but she does. So she's taking tablets for that. So she feels quite like a bit weird on these tablets that she's having to take, but I'm just me. I've had a bit of I've put on a lot of weight, so that's taking its toll on my body. Not really getting much exercise, but other than that, I'm good in myself. Apart from a bit of carpal tunnel in my right arm, that's about it, really. I mean, I'm just me, you know. I'm not really one for doctors. That makes sense. I'll be one to like suffer the pain until, you know, something major might happen, and I'll be like, okay, maybe I do need to see the doc. But I try to look after myself as best as possible, which is what we do. Yeah. Dads can't get sick. No. I mean, yeah, we all get the odd head cold and that sort of thing, but I haven't really been really sick since what, maybe 2-3 years ago, when Sniggles and I like first met up. I was actually quite ill. Well, probably 2 weeks in, yeah, I got quite sick. So other than that, it's been fine. Don't think we're going to get a fish right now, so I'm just going to pull these rods up. Go sell our fish. Oops. Put that one away. Nope. Right. Yeah, that is a really good spot right there. You can RP walk if you so wish. Like I was saying, the baits you can basically equip. You can equip your, and you can literally just dig. Oh. There we go. And then obviously you get percentage up in harvesting baits, and then you can go from there, and you can put in points for wherever you want. Yeah. So each point that you put in there will increase the amount of worms you get, and so on and so forth. So I can get red worms, I can prepare wet bread as bait, and then I need to get my harvesting base up to 20% so I can make this, and then so on and so forth. So I do need to actually dig to get this to 20%, and then I think to 30% is like the sweet spot. So Semolina is the one that I was gifted, so I need to get to 30%, and then I can start making, you know, because Semolina was the one I was using on my other rod. You don't necessarily have to use that. You could use potatoes or whatever you want to. But yeah, this and so so the shovel is around 24 silver. When you first start the game, you get given 50 silver. This is not a must, but this is a must. Because otherwise, any fish over 1 kilo can't land without a net. So yeah, obviously. As it would be in real life. I mean, technically in real life, you can lift the fish out of the water, but in this game, it won't allow you to fish any fish over 1 kilo without a net. So yeah, landing net is definitely needed. Then yeah, once you bought that, then you can invest in the shovel and then start harvesting baits. And then in terms of hooks, the higher the number, the smaller the fish, The lower the number, the bigger the fish, but obviously I think you likely know this. Starter rods, you get the telestick, and you get a bamboo rod, and you get crappy line and a crappy hook, and you get these feather floats, which is pretty cool. But I've invested in some express fishing bobbers and stuff like that. Then you get these mini sinkers, and then you get this. This is where I've gone to pick up extra worms. And I was just like, oh right, you can go to the you can go to the first map and get all of these like for free, including a free bamboo rod. So basically you could have a free bamboo rod set up if you'd like run out of money, or you'd spent money on repairing stuff and didn't have any money. And definitely useful to have. Then again, harvesting your own baits kind of, is also a necessity, because then you need to make, other baits. Then again, I mean, like, I think they'll more than likely introduce you possibly making your, like, maybe even growing your own veg, like potatoes and that sort of thing. Maybe, I don't know, I don't even know if you're going to make your own cheese or anything like that, but yeah, that might be another thing. But yeah, just you go along and then harvest worms this way. The only thing with digging is it takes a lot of energy, so therefore you need something that's going to combat that, which would be buying either a Coke or coffee, but coffee is expensive. Coffee costs like 4 silver a tub, so it can be pretty expensive if you start investing in different types of food, that sort of thing. These are fairly cheap. The wine is fairly cheap. Tea is pretty expensive. Coffee is really expensive. But then again, coffee gives you the most amount of energy, whereas things like wine will give you a good amount of comfort. You can get the mulled wine, where you drink one of these. So you need one of these plus the mulled wine, and then it will give you a thermos of wine, which will keep the comfort levels up. Because as you can see, because it's raining, the comfort level here is, rapidly depleting, because you're getting wet. Yeah. Easy peasy stuff, but yeah. Took a while for me to learn all of this, plus tutorials online, and I'm still learning. I am still learning. Learning your fishing spots. I mean, you could, if you wanted to, you can buy and invest into premium, and then buy gold, and then buy a bunch of rods and stuff like that. But like I was saying earlier, you have to level up your float fishing. You can't just buy an expensive rod like a Bolognese rod. You have to earn it. You have to earn the right to fish with the rod, which is a nice touch. But yeah. Rather than Fishing Planet, where they'll be like, yeah, here's a rod, go use it. Okay. Right, let's see how much money I made. Hopefully I made about 20 silver. I'll be happy if I made more than 20 silver, but I think I'm going to say I made around 27, 28 silver. Ish. Made 33 silver. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, so what did we make? We made 1 silver. Wow, I'm surprised that Gibble Carp was worth nearly 2 silver. What do we get for Yeah, that was a good payout. Interesting, the Gibble Carp are worth a lot of money. That one wasn't. So the one with the tick, these aren't trophy fish, they're like a unique specimen. You see how where is it? Just a normal crucian carp has this color fin, whereas this has, you know, a different colored fin. It's pretty cool. There we go. I am selling them. There's just a little bit of a delay on selling fish. I'm not entirely sure why. I think it's probably something like a server web thing. So it's almost like the game starts to crash and then it sells everything. 33 silver for 50 fish is good money. Excuse me, if I'd been fishing up, you know, 1 kilo fish and above, then I could have been looking at somewhere in the region of, excuse me, 55 silver, 56 silver was a good haul I saw earlier, and that was 53 or 54 fish. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the game. I do like this game a lot. It's very interesting, the dynamic of the game. I mean, it's simple, but it's really good. The reason why I have so much bread here is because I was eating bread, and then found out that sausages gave me more energy and last longer. But the only reason why I was carrying all the bread is because, you know, it makes extra bait. So. What was I gonna do? Do I need to buy more? Probably need to buy more tea. Might buy a couple more packs of sausages. Yeah, the tea is more of a comfort thing and a little bit of energy, and then but the coffee gives a tremendous amount. I think it's 2 servings is good. And that'll bump your energy up, so you know, you can then harvest worms to your heart's content. And it doesn't matter where. You can harvest worms anywhere, but I don't think there's like a specific place that you have to on them. I mean, technically I don't have to buy any more food right now. I could go and buy another feeder setup, which is what I was thinking about doing. I might take the current, I might pull this rod apart, because I'm not fly fishing currently at the moment. And so yeah, I probably might take this reel off and then use that reel for another bottom feeder setup. Let's see. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I probably would run myself dry. Just fishing and that's too much right now. But then again, I wouldn't need to buy a reel, so I already have a reel. So technically I need to make another 50 or so silver to be, yeah. Also, in terms of the lakes and how much they cost, this costs 4 silver. This costs, I think it was around 5.5 or 6 silver to enter this lake. This lake is free. This lake is free, and but this is a one-time fee. You only pay this one time. Travel there, and then you're there for as long as you want to stay. And then once you leave, then you would have to pay another 4 silver. That's a good thing. Whereas in Fishing Planet, you'd pay, like, for example, you'd pay 2,500 travel there. Then you'd pay 500 on top for a license, and then you'd pay extra on top for an advanced license, which would allow you to keep fish. Yeah, they've definitely gotten that right within the game. Because think to yourself, you pay 4 silver to come here, but then you fish and make yourself, you know, a lot of money back. So this really is nothing. But yeah, I think I am probably gonna stop the stream for now and try and figure out what kind of setup I want. I'm not sure, it being Friday, there are a couple of programs on today that I want to watch tonight with Sniggles, but other than that I may stream some more Russian fishing. So appreciate you hanging out, KW, if you're still here, and thanks to the people that followed the channel. Appreciate you guys hanging out, and I will catch you next time on the flip side. But for now, take it easy.